can see you. All right. We are going to go over fossils. So you should have your cutout already cut out and glued into your notebook. It was just one page with a simple rectangle cut. So if you don't, what were you doing?
I haven't found any good scissors.
I grabbed it wrong.
You're taking the tardy.
Well, what tardy am I?
I don't know. All right. Let's see here. Jackson, Josh. Okay. Okay. What else? Let's go over with a show of fingers. 1, Miss Heise, I ain't got it. 2, I still need some help. 3, yeah, quiz me. 4, Miss Heise, I got you. You can sit down. Can you define fossils? Show me those fingers. 1, 2, 3, or 4. Okay. You can define fossils? Mm-hmm. I don't. All right. How about, what are the different types of mineralization or fossilization? How are fossils formed? Show me those fingers. 1, 2, 3, or 4. Okay. How about the difference between relative and absolute age? Okay. Could you answer what the fossil record tells us as scientists? How confident are you? 1, 2, 3, or 4? I ain't got it. Or Miss Heise, sit down. I can teach this. All right. And how about, can you identify organisms today that are similar to organisms in the past? 1, 2, 3, or 4? All right. We're going to go over all of these in this order. We're going to start with defining fossils, then go over the different types of fossilization, and then move on to relative versus absolute age, what the fossil record tells us, and look at different organisms. Okay? In that order. We're picking up right where we left off from yesterday. Okay? So let's start with defining fossils. In the Q column, write fossils. I mean, you can write what are fossils, but fossils is just fine. Fossils are the preserved remains of, or traces of animals, plants, and other organisms from the remote or distant ancient past. Preserved remains of organisms from the ancient past. They are found in sedimentary rock layers. Who remembers the 3 types of rocks? Sedimentary. There's one.
Sandstone.
What's the one that starts with an I?
Idiot? No.
Oh.
Idiot? No way. I know it starts something like that. Metamorphic?
Metamorphic, there's another one. What's the other rock? What's the other type of rock? I know, I'm asking you to remember 6th grade stuff.
She did a little rock stuff.
She didn't go over rock cycle?
She did.
She did, but like
Are you sure? Yeah.
She
Igneous!
Yeah. She did, but
I know,
she
it
was
was
close to like Google it most
This
of the
close,
time.
man.
She was just like, look it up. Okay?
That hurts so much. Like, we made our own rocks out of candy.
What is?
Huh?
Can we make rock candy?
No.
Why?
Okay, so fossils are found sedimentary rock layers. Okay? They can be as small as bacteria or as large as dinosaurs. And paleontology is the study of fossils. So paleontologists are the people who study fossils.
What are the three types of rock?
Sedimentary,
Sedimentary, and I don't know the other one.
metamorphic, sedimentary. And what was the I one?
I can't remember.
Igneous.
Igneous.
Can you write down the rock on like a board or something?
Yeah,
What?
I will.
How do you spell the I one?
She asked me to write down the rocks.
Oh.
I think I'm gonna make a whole lot of anchor charts this go round.
Can you say the rocks again?
Metamorphic, sedimentary, igneous. Alright. So what does it take to make a fossil? Okay, we're gonna classify the types of fossilization, how fossils are actually made later, but there are certain things that are required for all fossils to be made. Okay? So in the Q column, I want you to write condition. The first one is an organism has to be buried quickly, so quick burial. With any organism, okay, whether it's plant or animal life, it lives, it dies. What happens when it dies? Good.
It falls into the ground.
Falls into the ground. Then what? Dirt and stuff buries it. Is that always what happens?
No.
What? It decomposes. What else? It might get eaten. Right? So, this is what typically happens. This is the life cycle, right, of producers and consumers in nature. For fossils to form, it has to interrupt that life cycle. There has to be a quick burial of that organism, so it doesn't get eaten, so it interrupts that decomp process. Okay? Or at least the decomp process on the surface. We want decomp to happen underneath layers of sediment built on top of that organism. So if we look at our diagram here, or if you're following along on your slide deck on Google Classroom, we have our organism. It had a quick burial, and now it's got layer on layer on layer of sediment or other soils that get put on top of it. Okay, weathered rock erodes and deposits on top of our organism for that quick burial. Then it decomposes. It's not decomposing on the surface, it's decomposing underneath these layers. Then it takes time. Nothing happens, nothing's disturbing it. It stays there for a long time. We're talking millions of years. This is why humans aren't fossils yet. Humans as a species have only been around for like 30,000 years. Okay? This takes millions of years. Huh? Evidence. Relative and absolute age. Okay? Hold on. We get fossils from the hard structures of the body. Or the organism. What are hard structures? Bones. What else? Teeth. What else could be a hard structure? Skull. I mean, skulls are bones, but yeah. Those are our hard structures. We know weathering, erosion, and deposition puts the layers on top of the organism. Same processes are going to take some of these layers off, and then through uplift, that's just general plate movement and earthquakes and stuff, are going to cause exposure of the fossils, so then we find them. Then we have a dig site.
Do they use a digger?
No, typically they'll grid it off like big tic-tac-toe boards, and they'll go in with like tiny paintbrushes, and they'll brush away the sage.
I saw that in Jurassic Park.
Yep. There is a lot Jurassic Park got right.
It's not.
There's a lot they got wrong, but just because it's a lot of imagination, but there's a lot they got right. And not that much. They can speed up decomp, but they're not gonna speed up fossilization.
So like, would it actually be true if mosquitoes actually got dinosaur blood, we can actually make them back?
We have found mosquitoes in amber, like that supposition is
Sap.
based off of actual, we have organisms in the amber, we're gonna go over that in a little bit, but being able to extract the DNA and create life from that, that's a big ask.
Extracted from a chicken too, like, so like,
That's a big ask. We'll go over that here in a little bit, okay? Yeah. Alright, so we've defined hard structures that become the fossils, okay? And we've discussed why a quick burial is necessary, correct? How would we define soft structures? Flesh,
feathers.
feathers, tissue, keratin, Keratin. What? Sedimentary rocks in the Q column. Sedimentary rocks in the Q column. Sedimentary rocks are the rocks that are formed in layers because they've been deposited by other weathered rocks. We have a great example. And found one with all the striations here. I'm going to pass it around. Okay? Sedimentary rock formed in layers because sediment gets layered on top of each other and then it's pressed and cemented together until it forms a rock. It's no longer sediment, it's rock. Okay? But that pressing and cementing is still low pressure. We've already discussed the three types, right? Sedimentary, metamorphic, and igneous. So metamorphic is high pressure, high heat. It's going to make the hardest rocks of all. That's where we get our diamonds, right? So we get quartz, crystals, granite. These are really hard rocks. Pardon me.
How do you like get diamonds?
Hold on. Igneous rocks are the cool crystallized structures that form because magma or lava was exposed to cool air and it crystallized then. Okay? That's going to be, nope, granite is igneous, not metamorphic. I messed that up. But yeah, your lava rocks, your granite, those are igneous. Sedimentary, however, is low pressure, low heat. These are the closest to the surface. This is what you're going to find digging in your backyard, most likely, especially here in Oklahoma. Okay? We got a lot of red clay, so we've got a lot of siltstone, we've got a lot of sandstone. When we find fossils in these layers of rock, we're going to know that these fossils are about the same age as that rock layer. I'm going to pass this around so you can see layers. Which layer do you think holds the oldest fossil? The deepest rock layer or the topmost rock layer?
Deepest.
Why?
Because it was there first.
It was there first?
It takes a long time, like, doesn't it, like,
Yeah.
like 1 inch, it takes like 1 year.
Candle, what?
Okay. Because of weathering and erosion? I like all these answers. Let's see if we're right. Law of superposition. Law of superposition. Geologists assume that the newest rock layers are on top and the older ones are on bottom.
Wait, why did they call it superposition?
Super meaning high or above, position meaning location. So, above location. Okay? They're gonna be real common. I'm pretty sure that came off of somebody's rock collection assignment that we used to do when I taught rocks. Okay.
Teach rocks.
Hot rocks. Okay. So,
Catch rocks.
newest layers are on top, oldest layers are subsequently on bottom. This helps us determine relative age of the rock strata. Strata just means layers, okay? Like striations, strata, same word there, okay? So then, one fossil down here is gonna be older than a fossil up here, because the rock strata is older than this one.
What is like all like the extra dirt and stuff come from? Like, it's not enough.
Because rock is gonna get broken down because of weathering, just general weathering. And so then erosion is gonna carry it wherever it needs to be carried because Oklahoma's windy. The rivers move sediment, right?
It isn't like.
So then it just deposits somewhere.
It's not like blue stuff again. So like the copper, like here, could be like million years old, something like
Not necessarily a million years old in Arkansas, but I mean, all of it is 400 billion years old. But how long it's been on the surface is not. Yeah. All right, who has yet to see this rock? Okay. There we go. That's why I wore my frizzle skirt today, to show rock strata. See? Law of superposition. Oldest layers on bottom, newest layers are on top, unless there are some kind of disturbances and it causes, like Hutton's nonconformity where they're vertical. In that case, we don't know. Look, it does kind of look like a road. But then we don't know, and so how are you gonna tell which one's oldest and which one's newest? That's gonna be the law of continuity, because somewhere we're gonna see it like that. So if we see a disturbance and the rock layers look like this, vertical, somewhere else the rock layers are going to be in superposition. And then we'll know. Alright. Somebody tell me, what is a fossil? Oh, wait, my bad. Fossil record. I got ahead of myself. Fossil record is a history of life documented by fossils. So all biological life uses fossils to tell us how old the earth is, essentially. How old life is. It tells us when organisms lived, how they lived, and how they evolved over these millions and millions of years. Yes? Go. It helps us know what their environment was like, where they lived. Yes? Oh my goodness. Okay. And this is what what we call the geologic time scale. Alright, I need to know when you're done writing this because this picture here is cut off and I've got a better one. Okay?
Besides,
Mhm.
how are they bringing back the building?
The same way they're trying to bring back the woolly mammoth and
Why do they
the
want to bring that back?
Cause he's
curiosity.
I mean, I wanna see a woolly mammoth.
That's true. Okay. Let's see. What up? That's not what I want. Let's look at this one.
Choke my arm.
Yeah, let's read that one. Alright. Of course it is. Why? So they're trying to bring the woolly mammoth back to fight climate change. So we help the ecosystem in Russia.
Just
In the tundra, because it helps preserve the health of the Arctic and have a beneficial impact on the ecosystem up there. No, it helped the world, but the tundra in Russia is where it is from, is where it lives. Okay, was that necessary?
I tried to get up and my foot like clicked onto the chair. That's it.
Your tablemate is injured. Why
know.
would you do things
I was
to
too.
potentially
Look,
harm?
look. I was getting up right.
I
And my
don't need a
foot-
reenactment.
Right.
You missed it. We just like
Okay,
just like the ground.
tell me, what is a fossil?
Dinosaur. Is it a
Brayden,
A organism that died like millions of years ago, like buried, but also pressured.
okay,
So like only bones.
alright, I like that.
Or like
Full explanation. What do you got, Aiden?
They are bones broken down into rock layers that died millions of years ago.
I think I like Brayden's explanation better,
so
but nice try. Can you tell me what sedimentary rock is? Kendall?
Like weathered rocks.
Weathered rocks? And that, what?
They're like pressed and cemented together.
Pressed and cemented together. Okay, how about law of superposition? You can tell me that one. Anyone else? Law of superposition? Jordan?
It's when geologists assume that the most recent fossils are on top and the older ones are on the bottom.
There we go. Just the fossils
And rocks.
and the rock layers. Okay, how about fossil record? What's a fossil record?
History of life as documented by fossils.
History of life documented by fossils. I like it. Let's talk fossilization. Nope, my bad. 3D swamp. 3D swamp. marshes. Hundreds of thousands of their acres are covered in shallow water and muddy land. With all this water and heat, there's a high rate of decay. Do you think paleontologists can find lots of fossils here?
No.
No?
Yes.
Yes?
No.
No?
No.
Alright, those who say no, why?
They're all underwater.
They can't get to them.
Can't get to them, they're underwater?
Because usually the like ground is always like wet, so that's why you usually go to like Colorado, that dry area.
Okay,
They're gonna change.
needs a dry area.
You,
Those who say yes, why?
Because rocks are like weathered, they get like, it's like water.
They get weathered by water.
Yeah.
Okay.
If there's a lot of water, then it can turn into sediment.
Interesting. Water contains a lot of sediment.
mine is pretty good.
Who agrees with Braden and Ty?
I agree with Todd.
What they
I
say.
agree with Todd. I don't agree with Brady.
What
I
they
agree with Todd.
Who agrees with Kendall?
I agree with Kendall.
Kindle's not right though, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Only Todd though.
I want you to think about
The
the
only
conditions
The only
necessary.
reason is the water like makes the ground softer. It gets like,
Okay. Think of the conditions necessary to create a fossil.
Oh yeah, those weren't necessary.
Wait, Kendall, what did you even say? Hold on.
I mean, why do you think like in the movie Jurassic Park, why do you think like Jay Hodges like went to like dry areas?
Yeah, there was no water.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I'm talking about.
Okay,
Right now.
you tell me. Kendall still says yes, she's holding on.
I'm holding it one more time. Thank you. I'll try for you.
Ty, Braden, are you sticking to your answer or are you gonna change?
sticking to my answer.
Okay. I want you to make sure you're writing your full and complete thought in full and complete sentences.
Yeah, but what's the
Is it yes or no? Why do you say yes or no?
Yeah, but what's the right answer?
What's the real answer?
Guess we'll never
Because
know.
if you go to like a dry area, you can find like layers and stuff like. Like for instance, the Grand Canyon, bunch of layers.
What now? Are you talking about the Grand
All right.
Canyon?
From all the talking, it sounds like we can move on.
No. But what's the right one?
Is that what you were talking about?
Roberto's still testifying over here.
Dude, well, what's the right answer?
What'd you say, Roberto?
Well, my answer was. Yeah, you really don't need to go to like swamps because it's always wet there. If you go to like somewhere in like Colorado, like low humidity, like barely even rains.
Okay. Why does that matter?
Because when it's like a little bit of rain, you can like get weathering and erosion. Like, plus you will have like layers like the Grand Canyon does. So basically.
So where it's dry, you get the layers. Okay. But in the swamps and the marshes, do you have layers?
Kind of, but
You should go to Utah.
but like everything's covered in water.
But it's covered in water, so you're not gonna get the layers.
New Mexico.
Not really.
Okay. Are the layers necessary for fossils?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always
because they're found in rock
necessary.
Yes, because they're found in rock layers, right? Because sediment has to layer on top, right?
What if it doesn't?
Correct. To be able to provide that little bit of pressure necessary.
Great job.
Oh, what are you doing?
His pen's on bottom.
You have this written down?
No.
I'm trying to find some weather now. It's come out.
I've got pencils in the top drawer.
I Push her out.
easier because
They've got the thinner blades.
layers.
My
Like
goodness.
copper, graphene.
Yeah.
You have so many layers in graphene.
All right.
And then it's
Let's talk types of fossilization.
low hanging.
You can write types or you can write fossilization. Or types of. Okay. So when we write down this list, I need you to know a couple things. Here, replacement and permineralization are petrification. Okay? So in our list, we have petrification, replacement, permineralization. But these two are types of petrification. Okay? Then we have molds and casts, carbonization, fossil resin, which is amber, tar and ice, and trace fossils. And I've got a little bit of each one of those for you to hold and pass around. Okay? So, petrification, replacement and permineralization, molds and casts, carbonization, fossil resin, tar and ice, trace fossils. This is also the list on your cutout. All right. Yes?
Yes.
Awesome. Petrification. Like I said already, there are two types of petrification, replacement and permineralization. This happens in both cases because organic material is converted into stone. Petrified wood is our best example of this. Petrification, petrified wood, okay? Because organic material, that wood, has now been converted into stone. I'm going to pass this around. Here's what I need to tell you now. Every fossil that you're passing around now is not mine. It is on loan from the Oklahoma Geological Society. If you break it, you buy it. And you do not have that kind of money. Got it?
How much is that?
I don't know. It's on loan to me.
Oh, that. I thought you were talking about this.
These, also, you break them, you buy them. Okay?
Is it over $100?
They came in a box that was worth over $1,000. So they're part of that monetary value.
I got that one.
Okay? The tiny ones that you have were all found in Oklahoma. These were not found, the large ones were not found in Oklahoma. They were just collected by the Oklahoma Geological Society. This particular sample is from Madagascar. It was formed 180 million years ago.
Oh, gosh.
Okay?
Where's Madagascar?
Okay. It's an island off of Africa.
Oh, like my gas.
Come on, have you not seen the movie?
I have, but
All right. Now, let's go over that again. Petrification, two types. Replacement and permineralization. These are very similar. We will go over the differences. It's where the soft organic material is converted into stone. Even the hardest wood is still softer than stone. It can be converted into stone. Petrified wood is our most well-known common substance that this happens to. Aiden,
Is this a drill?
no,
Not.
no, it's a type of coral.
Looks like a drill.
It's a type of
How
coral.
do you know the coral? The coral is old. Was it like in the rain or something? Or was it like in the
No.
ocean?
We know where these were located. We know where these were found. We're going to use these in our activity on Monday. You are going to identify where they were found.
Oh.
Yeah.
What is
There's
it?
more loading here than that.
That'll for you. That's our activity.
This season.
Yeah.
Well, over 1,000.
Did you see this one? That's the rock layers to show sedimentary rock and the layers.
Oh.
All right. So let's first look at replacement. Replacement is what happens when the water moves into the soft tissue and replaces it with calcite, silica, pyrite, and hematite. So here, eyeballs. Okay? Replacement is when water moves into the soft tissue and dissolves the soft tissue and replaces it with these minerals. Okay? This is real. This is what's called an ammonite. Okay? This is an ammonite. This has been, hold on, this has been cut in half and polished to show all this. This particular ammonite is, I can see the silica and the hematite in this. Okay? This one was found in Madagascar. It was formed 110 million years ago. Okay? This happens slowly, very slowly. Because think how long it takes for water to weather a stone. Okay? It's going to take time for water to weather away and dissolve the soft tissue. Okay? Bones, shells, wood are often fossilized in this manner. Okay? This replacement typically happens to the insides of an organism. So here we've got the insides of the ammonite are being replaced with the minerals. Why?
How much does that one cost?
Probably close to 500 or to 1,000 depending on the buyer. Yeah, I'm gonna pass it around. Okay.
Hey, Tosh.
Tomorrow, Braden has said he's going to bring his sample. Braden has one that's like this big.
What?
Yeah, Roberto. Yeah, Braden's
Hey,
got a really good
Are you sure it's
ammonite
real?
sample.
Yes, it
Yes.
is.
You want it, Tosh?
I looked it over myself.
I want it.
Do not.
I was joking. He scared me a second time.
I found lettuce.
I thought you actually played it.
Yeah, what day did you make that?
Tosh says that.
This
We'll ever do that.
No, I like reaching.
This high. The one that I found was like
Let me see that one back.
25 meters down in the lake and like.
It's a nice one.
Nice. Which lake?
How much is it?
I don't know.
You don't remember where you were?
It's a long time since I've been down there. But
Alright.
You go, Chris.
We find a lot of ammonites in Oklahoma. There are a lot of ammonites in Oklahoma. These are, I mean, what do you, take a look. This is an ammonite, how we find it in the rock, how we find them in the wild,
What do you mean?
okay? This is exactly like what I just passed around, but this is fully intact. This is not split in half, okay? So here, what we see here, this is permineralization. This is what happens on the outside, okay? This is when the groundwater carries all those dissolved minerals, same minerals, calcite, silica, hematite, pyrite, carries all of that into the tiny little holes of shells and bone and whatever that is left of the organism, carries all those minerals into those pores and then solidifies that part of the organism. So this is gonna happen to your big dinosaur bones. They become fossils through permineralization. This ammonite here, this part of the shell gets turned into stone through permineralization. So, let me see this real quick. The insides here, the soft tissue got dissolved and replaced with those minerals through replacement, whereas the outside shell got filled in and mineralized through permineralization. Okay? So this is preserved through permineralization. It happens to the bones, the shells. Generally not the wood, but your teeth, right? Because you've got tiny little pores in your teeth as well. It's going to happen to the teeth also. Okay? Hold on. Jordan's hand was up first.
Isn't the reason why we find a lot of ammonites in Oklahoma is because Oklahoma was before, like way back, was like all covered in water?
Over here.
That way they have a lot of flood zones.
Not exactly.
Can I see it?
Why was it shaded?
No.
Why is what?
That was more shaded.
The minerals.
Hurry up, bro.
The minerals that are inside of it.
So, you know how like when we look at fossils sometimes, like especially of like our human ancestors and whatnot, they have like almost near perfect teeth, but we need like braces and stuff for our teeth. And they probably didn't even like brush them or whatever because they didn't have that. Why do they have like such perfect teeth but we don't?
So, one, we do not have fossils of human remains
Why is this smoother?
because it's been polished. Because fossilization takes millions of years. Humans as a species have only been around for 30,000 years.
Yeah, but what about like just the bones we find? Do not.
Perfect teeth is a stretch. Sniff it, lick it, all you want.
See, I told you, you're supposed to sniff it.
Act like you're throwing it on the ground and you can join the celery. Okay. Okay, I want you to take,
So we can lick it, right?
I want you to take like 2 minutes. And I want you to discuss with your table the differences between replacement and permineralization. And I want you to discuss the types of organisms that usually are fossilized by these different types of fossilization. Okay? Yes? The same thing that you're discussing. It can just be quick IMB. Okay? But it's going to be extra in your notebook. You're just going to take 2 minutes to discuss it. Yeah. Set a timer for 2 minutes. I don't. Yeah, never mind.
I was gonna
I need you to discuss this with your table. Would you like to join a table that has an empty chair? You're just gonna write it down? I get that. What's the title?
Creeping you out?
So,
Oh, like right here. Oh, like a little dot.
so you're only at the cheers. Yeah, you're not supposed to.
Also, the iPhones.
Right.
Mine is
How much
all.
years are
Wait,
My
I want to be a science teacher.
Okay.
Tie.
I want patience.
Content's fairly easy. It's the people management,
What do you mean?
making sure that kids with names like DJ get to class on time every hour.
Most hours.
Or time! Making sure that kids like Aiden are speaking on content every time we bust out like this.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Alright, our next type of fossilization, molds and casts. Molds and casts. Alright, these go hand in hand like replacement and permanentalization, but they get their own slide like together. Here, think about who makes Jello.
I do.
Do you use the like the silicone?
No.
Hey, do you use the silicone molds to make the Jello jigglers?
No.
Or who makes? Nobody makes Jello jigglers anymore.
Jello jiggler.
Okay, that I guess that's a 30 years ago.
I was never allowed.
I've never heard of a Jello
I'm
jiggler.
gonna take it away. No, no, I'm taking this away.
Where's the cool one?
Okay. Okay, how about or cupcake. Cupcakes? Use a cupcake pan, right?
Yeah?
And then you have a little paper piece, and then you pour the batter into the cupcake hole. That's a mold.
Ziggler.
What about like
The cupcake pan is a mold.
Is that a
You
storage
put-
device?
Or like the silicone ones, and you pour like the hot chocolate, molten chocolate in it to make it form. That's a mold. Those silicone ones are molds, right? That's the same thing that's happening with these fossils. So let me see, do I have a mold? Is this a mold? This is cast. Is this a mold? No. Is this a mold? Not exactly. Roll with it. Maybe. Blueberry.
Don't know who Mark Rover is?
Not exactly. Yeah, this is a mold, this is a cast. Okay, here we go. Okay. I'm gonna pass these around. Shush. Eyeballs and airballs. A mold is the cavity where there's nothing filling it. Okay? So you can feel the space of what was once there and now it's no longer there. It has cavities. You could pour something into the cavities to create a cast. A cast is like when you create sculpture. Okay, you have your mold and then you pour the liquid whatever into it and it takes on the shape of the mold. That's the cast. So here we have our mold. Okay? The organism dies, decays, it leaves cavity imprints on the rock. That's our cast, or that's our mold. I'm going to pass it around. Then we have our cast. Okay? The organism dies and it leaves a hole in the rock. Minerals, dissolved minerals in the water flood into that hole, into that space, and then solidify to create the cast. And it takes on the shape of whatever the mold was, whatever that hole was. And it creates this cast. This one right here, this one is a trilobite. Okay? You have an example of a trilobite in your little bag here. This one's just larger. Okay? Yes? I don't know. There are a lot of shells that are fossilized in these manners. I have these.
You might want to give it to
I see it.
I already passed along. Have you seen this one? Okay. And you're done with this one? Awesome. All right. So the mold being passed around is a fern that was found in Illinois. It is 300 million years old. So this one over here. Can I help you? Okay. And the trilobite over here, Presley, raise it up.
Yes.
That's 380 million years old from Morocco. No, put it there. I know it. That's all right. Nope. Still in it.
Lay down.
All right. Question. If you make a footprint in concrete, is that a mold or a cast?
Ooh, mold.
Mold?
Mold.
Mold?
I agree.
Do you agree with him?
What is that?
Yes, I do.
Besides, what is this?
Trilobite. I'm glad you said that.
What?
So how do you get stuck on it?
It didn't get stuck on it. How did we say that was made?
I don't know.
It's a what?
Oh, a wooden cast.
Cast. Okay.
So how did it? I don't get it still.
How is a cast formed?
Oh, it died already?
It died, and then the rock formed around it while it was dying,
Oh, and then they took the
and
top
then
off.
minerals came in and filled the hole where the organism was, turned into stone, and then we found the stone. It is.
What is this thing?
That's a
Fern.
bug?
Just went over that. Went over both of these. This table wasn't paying attention. Okay. Okay. I want you to take a minute. Okay? And in your cutout, on your cutouts. Okay? I want you to fill in, what do you know about petrification, replacement, permineralization, and molds and casts? DJ, what are we doing right now?
Filling the wrong. Oh, put it down.
3D swamp.
Oh, yeah, I know what to do about.
Okay? You're gonna take, we'll take the rest of our time until the 5 minutes, and I want you to fill in these 4. Okay, on your cutouts. That's the cast. No, this is a fern.
I gotta do my snipping.
That's a plant.
I gotta do my snipping.
No.
What does it smell like?
He has some photo of us too.
I don't think so, because octopi are mostly soft tissue.
Is that a shark fin?
It's a megalodon tooth.
Oh, let me see.
Oh, let me see that visual.
Let me see it. Whoa.
Hold on.
Are you gonna plug
It is
I will inform you.
from South Carolina, and it is 15
Wait, the youngest?
No.
Yes. How do you think this one was formed?
Moldy past.
I believe it
It was molded in like between some
It's gotta be.
sand.
Isn't it like cat?
Alright,
Kids start with
Came out of ice and just like made the shark.
table 3.
A boulder.
Table 3. Over, table 2, over here. This is a megalodon tooth. It was from South Carolina. It is 15 million years old. I need you to take a look at it. Okay? Take a look here. I need you to tell me, how do you think this fossil was made? How did it come to be?
I have a theory.
Hold on, I'm waiting for table 3 to pay attention.
Guys.
How did this fossil come to be? Braden.
Rocks.
Since Arculus team that probably go on like years ago and got like lost of
Okay? Who wants to add to what Braden said? Wanna go to Boston?
Okay, so what happened was the megalodon it bit into something and that the tooth went to the animal and then the animal it died and then the animal fossilized into the tooth.
He just said megalodon.
Okay. How does fossilization happen? How did this one become a fossil?
What he said, like, when the tooth fell off, and it fell in the sand or something, and then it kind of just like fell into the layers, and then more sand fell on it, like in the ocean floor, and then
like
it
like
and then they
That's
found
what I
it.
said first.
Presley?
So,
That is very
so it gets very quick. The layer of sediment going over it. It's left for a long period of time. And then eventually erosion and uplifting takes place.
Okay. How did this tooth
Hello.
become fossilized? We've gone over
The
4
shark
different
died.
types of fossilization. DJ.
It like got under all the rocks and it just
I have a theory. No,
Oh my god, what? Scales don't have teeth.
I wasn't right.
Jordan. Petrification?
Oh no, petrification.
Which type?
Replacement.
Permineralization?
Why was everyone giving me
Wait,
like
it's the second
stories?
one. with the
His name is Billy Bob, okay?
Here. Take a look at it and tell me. Is that permineralization or replacement?
You can tell by how it
I think
feels.
it's permanentization.
I meant like a different oil. Like, that's what he was like. That is strange.
Okay? Yeah.
Are you sure that's real?
I am sure that's real.
He thinks it's a rough place.
Think it's replacement?
I think the reason why
Are those
Not exactly.
What is that? What is that?
that's who's water to
I need you to sit down.
hide
Okay.
well now become a cave.
Jordan, why do you say replacement?
because in the top there's like a bunch of holes. What would have happened is when it gets buried, when it got buried, a bunch of water from under it kind of seeps into the hole and sort of fill it in.
Okay. Think about your teeth. You have a hard enamel around soft tissue. That's what your teeth are comprised of. Okay? This tooth isn't any different. It's a hard enamel around soft tissue. Except here, that's hard rock. Okay? So, the rock came in and replaced that soft tissue that was inside the enamel. So, Jordan's right. It's replacement. Huh? I mean, it is. It didn't need to be like super pointy because it's, if you have a lot of these, that's super sharp.
Let's go.
I mean, that's where we're stopping anyway.
So does that mean your video stopped?
Wait, did the power just go out?
No.
Wait.
Okay.
No.
that's